Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fiesta Rondalla 2013. I'm your MC for tonight. I'm Grace. Welcome.
The song that you've just heard is a short excerpt from Ceremonial March, an original composition by one of the alumni Rondalla presidents, An Kai-kwan. NUS Rondalla was founded in 1981 and has been the largest and most active Rondalla group in Singapore ever since. It has represented Singapore during the 2nd and 3rd International Rondalla Festival in the Philippines. I believe many of you are wondering what are these exotic instruments. So allow me to introduce to you with a beautiful Filipino song called Dahil Sa Iyo. Let's start with the rhythmic section, the foundation instruments of NUS Rondalla. First, we have Cien on double bass. Double bass is the largest and lowest pitched string instrument in the Rondalla to provide a full and deep sound. Cien joined us last year and picked up double bass within 1 semester. Next, we have Han Hao and Shan Chuan in the guitar section. Guitar is a standard instrument in most Rondalla groups as it keeps the rhythm going. Han Hao was the president of the group last year, while Shan Chuan is an alumni member who has been with NUS Rondalla for 6 years. Next, we have Tian Hongyu on mandola and Gao Bing on octavina. Both instruments are from the Philippines. They have 14 strings divided into 6 sets. Each set contains either 2 or 3 strings, which tuned in unison to enhance the tremolo. They are on the same octave, but the mandola has a bigger body, so it can provide a richer sound. Tian Hongyu used to play double bass for the past 3 years. But this year he took up the challenge to play mandola instead, and meanwhile he has been teaching Cien on the double bass. Gao Bing joined us last semester. She is learning guitar and octavina at the same time. Moving on, we have Spanish lauds, played by Wang Yuanzhi, Kang Yueying, Zhou Jing, Xiao Pu, Shen Yuan, and Lin Jianhao. The body of the Spanish laud is a bit smaller than the mandola, and it is 2 semitones higher than its Filipino counterpart. It also has 6 sets of strings, but only 2 strings per set, so total 12 strings. The laud is often used to supply the inner harmonies of the ensemble. Wang Yuanzhi joined the group 6 years ago and is now a master student in engineering. He is one of the appointed tutors by the NUS Center for the Arts, mainly teaching the mandolin section. Kang Yueying is the current president of the NUS Rondalla. She is also a very good piano player, and you will see that later. Zhou Jing is a PhD student. Although she only joined us for 1 year, she has been actively performing for a lot of events. She also has a twin sister, whom I will introduce to you very soon. Xiao Pu used to play Spanish bandurria when she first joined Rondalla a few years ago, but later she has decided to change to laud section. She's a very good piano player as well. Shen Yuan is appointed tutors for the Spanish instruments. She is also an amazing arranger and conductor. Later in the repertoire, he will be conducting his new arrangement for this year. Lin Jianhao is the only Singaporean Taiwanese member of this group. Although he had no prior music background, he can now perform for you like any other members. Now let's move on to the mandolins. We have Chen Keru, Yang Yadi, Lin Xiaochen, Xiang Yu, and Shang Shang. Mandolin is a solo instrument and is not commonly seen in Rondallas. It was adapted into NUS Rondalla for a wider spectrum of sound. The mandolin has 4 sets of paired up strings, and the fingerings is exactly the same as violins. It is 1 octave higher than the mandola, octavina, and Spanish laud. This section contains most of the current Rondalla executive committee members. Chen Keru is the concert manager for tonight. Yang Yadi, Shang Shang, takes care of all the instruments. And Xiang Yu is in charge of the publicity. As for Lin Xiaochen, she was the vice president last year and is now a section leader for mandolins. Last but not least, we have the soprano instrument of Rondalla, the banduria. We have Zhou Lu on Spanish banduria, Liu Xiaodi and Chen Zhuhe and Linda Zhong on Filipino banduria. Spanish banduria are on the same octave as the mandolins and are primarily used in Spanish folk song and dance music. Filipino bandurias involved in the Philippines during the colonial period and was modified to be 2 semitones low. Zhou Lu is the newest member in this group. Actually, she is the fastest Spanish banduria learners in these years. Liu Xiaodi is a very talented player. She can switch in between banduria, octavina, and guitar section wherever we need her to. Chen Zhuhe joined us last semester and has been learning banduria and guitar together. Linda is now the most senior member of this group and the appointed tutor for Filipino instruments. She has been arranging music for Rondalla every year, and later you will hear her arrangements as well. With a mixture of all these Spanish and Filipino instruments, NUS Rondalla is very unique and rarely seen elsewhere in Singapore. Now, please sit back and enjoy the performance brought to you by NUS Rondalla. We will now present you a song from Spain, and the song is so famous that it has been translated into different languages. The Chinese version of it, for example, is very well known across Asia. This very version of ours tonight is actually a rearrangement of our NUS professor, Gary Tan, who was in Rondalla back in his student time. Gary is now the Associate Dean from School of Computing. Without further ado, let's hear Historia de un Amor. That was really a passionate song, isn't it? But actually, the original Spanish melody was slow and sad. This was rewritten into a more lively one in Asia, and indeed, our NUS Rondalla style is very passionate. Coming up next is another song from a Japanese anime, and it is about a man's loneliness and tender love for the girl of his dreams. Simple, yet beautiful. This song has high popularity among our senior members. Please enjoy Aoi Hitomi no Elise. Next, we have a traditional Mexican folk song, a really catchy tune from the Latin American world. To spice up the music, our mandola player Hong Yu will be our percussionist in this song to provide better rhythm. This song is arranged by Miss Lo Mei Ling, our former conductress and main arranger of NUS Rondalla. Mei Ling led the group full-time for 8 years, creating a remarkable amount of music pieces in various genres. Now let's hear La Cucaracha. Mei Ling's fantastic works keep the band marching on, and we will later play another couple of her songs. But right now, let's take a tour to the mystical land of Tibet. Arranged by Linda, the next song came from a love poem written by the 6th Dalai Lama, the greatest poet in the Tibetan history. Our mandolin player, Xiang Yu, will be the percussionist for this song. So now, please enjoy Love Song. Well, the very first, the previous version that we have is a very platonic and romantic love story. But what we will have next is also a love story, which is more enthusiastic, and it's a Filipino version of love story. So which song do you prefer more? And I will let you decide. So without further ado, let's enjoy Lu Lai. Next, we are proud to invite our tutor, Yuan, to conduct a beloved Spanish piece. Yuan, please. To conduct a beloved Spanish piece called Granada. It depicts Granada, that is a lovely Spanish city with beautiful scenery, nice people, and peaceful life. Please enjoy it. Thank you, Shenyuan. Coming up next, we will have a smaller ensemble formed by the senior members of this group. They have been with NUS Rondalla for a couple of years and have been always trying different types of music and new repertoires. This group started in 2011 and continued from there. Now let me invite the group leader, Linda, on the stage to share with us a bit more about this ensemble and about yourself. So, do you mind just do a short introduction of yourself first, a short self-intro?
Okay, sure. Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda, and some of you might know me as Zhongyi. I've been in this group for 7 years since I first joined NUS in 2006. Back then, I used to play the Filipino octavina, but then I changed to this beautiful instrument, the bandurria. So there was some arrangement course done in the past. So that was part of the Rondalla experience. So we learned arrangements. And also we've been playing music for quite a long time. Like every week is kind of a fixed activity for us. Yep.
All right, thank you. And notice that you have already answered many of the questions that I wanted to ask later on, like the arrangement and so on, but never mind. So let's just do something interesting. Imagine if Rondalla becomes a girl who is like a lady. So what are the words that you want to use to describe this lady? Probably 3 words.
Okay, the first word that comes to my mind would be family. Well, Rondalla is no longer like any normal NUS CCA to me. Because I graduated for 3 years, I'm working now, and I still come back every week. So it feels like it's a family gathering every weekend, rather than coming back for hard work, like practice. And the second one might be passion. It's like the songs we played just now, Granada or Historia de Amor. We can feel the passion in the music, and we love the music. So we want to play more of those kind of music. We have passion in Rondalla. The last one will be fun. Rondalla is very fun, like playing the music, the instruments, the people, and everything. It's just a fun experience. That's why we love staying here. We feel a sense of belonging here. That's why we love Rondalla. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. So it seems that to Linda, Rondalla is a lady who is passionate, fun, probably a bit sexy, and plus a little bit like family-oriented, which is very interesting. So I believe the smaller ensemble is ready now. So without further ado, let's invite the members on stage. They are Tian Hongyu on double bass, Shan Chuan on guitar, Zhou Lu on percussion, Kang Yueying, Zhou Jing, Shen Yuan on Spanish Lord, Lin Xiaochen and Wang Yuanzhi on mandolin, Linda on Filipino bandurria, and we have one more guest performer, that is Yong Kai Ling on violin. So let's give them a big round of applause. That is a very famous Cuban song called Crisis, 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 arranged by Linda. You know, crisis in English stands for perhaps. This song was widely used in movies and TV commercials. Well, the next piece that we are going to bring to you is Sevillanas Boleras from movie Sevillanas and arranged by our music director, Dr. Joseph Peters. Please enjoy Sevillanas Boleras. The next music is called Jarabe Tapatío, or in English, Mexican head dance. It is the best known among a variety of Mexican folk dance called Jarabe, which has become a symbol of Mexico. Please enjoy it.
The song that we will be presenting now is called Tico-Tico, a famous Brazilian samba composed by Zequinha Abreu. The Portuguese lyrics tell the story of Tico-Tico, a local name for a bird which is called rufous-collared sparrow. This music is probably my favorite in the whole concert. I really love the upbeat tempo which describes Tico-Tico's fast and nimble movement. Let's see if you feel the same. Now, let's welcome Rondalla. Coming up next is the famous second movement of Beethoven's Pathetique Sonata, arranged by Mei Ling. Somebody believed that this song is an indication of Beethoven's frustration at going deaf. Some people think it's dedicated to his friend. My dear audience, which one do you think is true? Please sit back, relax, and enjoy this movement.
Just now I heard a girl in our audience who's like shouting and crying. Probably she can feel the pain of Beethoven. But now, never mind, we will bring you a very passionate song. So what we will have now is called La Boda de Luis Alonso, depicting the wedding of a gentleman called Luis Alonso. Linda specially arranged this music for the collaboration with Flamenco Sin Fronteiras. Flamenco Sin Fronteiras, in English, Flamenco Without Border, is a non-profit flamenco dance theater group based in Singapore. Now let's welcome the dancers, Daphne and Tilly. Where are you? Please enjoy it. Thank you so much. Isn't it amazing? So the next song that we're bringing to you is called Oblivion, arranged by Yuan. This piece was one of Astor Piazzolla's most famous tangos. Some people said that when they hear this song, they can feel a very strong sentimentality and a toxic beauty. Toxic beauty, which kind of beauty is that? Probably you can figure out yourself. Anyway, it's loved by a lot of people, and we hope that you will enjoy it as well. Let's welcome Oblivion. Coming up next, we will have a Filipino folk song called Dahil Sa Iyo. It's a standard piece on the repertoire for many artists who are performing Filipino romantic and popular music. Hope you will enjoy NUS Rondalla's interpretation of Dahil Sa Iyo.
to NUS Rondalla Ensemble. Let's give them a big round of applause for the great pieces presented. As the next piece will be featuring our guest performers, we have another music called Zapateado. You may have heard that zapato is shoes in Spanish, and indeed, this zapateado is a kind of Mexican Indian dance, which has a strong rhythm punctuated by the striking of dancers' shoes akin to tap dance. Tonight, we are proud to have invited two very famous artists. The violin soloist was graduated from Vienna Academy of Music and has been traveling around the whole world for the past 10 years, while the dancer soloist is very famous. Like, he has played in a lot of movies and theaters and so on. Just to mention one movie that he played, that is Mission Impossible 2. So without further ado, let me just invite Yong Kai-ling and Antonia Vargas.
Thank you. Thank you, Antonia and Kylie. Can Antonia and Kylie hold back for a while? Let's do a short interview. I guess our dear audiences really want to know more about two of you. So we'll start with Kylie. I just let you rest for a while because I know it's really tiring. So Kylie, I heard that you just be back to Singapore for 3 months. Right? And earlier, where were you? What were you doing? What brought you back to Singapore?
So many questions.
Yeah. I'm greedy, sorry.
You're greedy, huh? Well, I was hiding. I was hiding in the mountains of Colorado.
I don't believe that. Is it true?
It is true. I actually lived in Colorado for the last 12 years in the US. So what was the other questions again?
What were you doing?
Well, what do you do in the mountains? You ski, you hike, you listen to the birds. It's paradise there.
Yeah, it really sounds like paradise. Does it give you more inspiration for music?
Well, music comes from life. Music and art is a microscopic version, condensed version of what life is. So whatever my environment is, I always find inspiration and beauty. That fuels my creativity.
That sounds very sophisticated. But to make it simpler, can you just share with our audiences who many of us are NUS students to share with us about your your perception about music, about violin and so on.
How much do they really want to know? I don't.
Do you want to know? They do.
My website, no. You can friend me on Facebook. The question about, philosophy of music.
Okay.
Well, music is a universal language. So that's been a guiding principle for me since I was little. So all my life I've been trying to use music to build bridges, to make friends, to spread, messages of love and peace. So an ensemble like this is really, really fun for me because it's you guys are playing a lot of folk music from around the world. you know. And for me, it's a utopic vision to think about how if we all kind of start taking interest in each other's languages and cultures and dances, you know, this world might start becoming a much better place.
Thank you. I guess that's really something like food for thought for us to bring back to think about. So, Antonia, just to start with, just share us a bit about the organization that you have founded, this Flamenco Sin Fronteras.
Right. Well, you know, miracles can happen in Singapore, not just other in America or the rest of the world. I came here 10 years ago on the invitation of Tilly, one of our principal dancers, to do a workshop. And she invited me back again. Then I met the wife I married, Dr. Daphne Huang, and we got together and got more students working with us, and eventually built the company and quite a large repertoire of dances. And as you know how hard it is in Singapore to get art bodies happening, and so somehow we push it through for their wonderful loyalty and sacrifices they've all made to find the time to put all the rehearsals together. And Cien Fronteras produced their second performance, a major performance as a dance theatre piece. The first one was Five Dreams, and this one was The House, which was presented in Sota Drama Theatre, a full-on contemporary and flamenco dance theatre piece. We had some incredible results. And the funny thing about this is what Destiny is about. We did this theatre, a kind of, dances that are kind of a workshop in progress. And the group of musicians that were playing for us, I said, what shall we do now? Let's go somewhere, have a few drinks. I said, okay, all right. So we go to Geylang, where my studio is, Lorong 24A, and we sit in this coffee shop. And one of the musicians, a Mexican bass player, brings Kailin along with him. And within 1 hour, they were jamming in this coffee shop. Even the waitresses was dancing with one of the musicians. Mexican dance, and this guy was playing, just improvising like this. And when I heard the quality of this man's playing, I thought, someone sent him to me. And we started to work on ideas, and he actually was in charge of putting the music and direct the musicians with a flamenco guitarist from Spain, and put all the whole thing, and compose a couple of songs for us. And I found this man is just amazing. He's just an amazing musician. That's it, you know. But my career, I can say, if you have the time to sit here for 24 hours, I can tell you about my life story, but I won't do that. But I have been around from my early times in Spain, forming a company at the age of 24, experimenting with dance theatre, using not just flamenco music, but world music, all kinds of music, fusing with Indian, fusing with Arabic, fusing with jazz, because I thought, you know, the audiences outside of Spain can maybe learn a bit more about flamenco if it's not a big dose for them all at once. Because in Spain, of course, they're used to it, right? They can listen to flamenco in a festival for 10 hours and they get tired. It's like in India. And you go on, you know, and the ragas, one song lasts you for 20 minutes. You've got to have a lot of patience. Unless you're a real aficionado, it's very hard. So what we do, we put some little doses of flamenco and then we tell a story. And somehow or other, it seems to work. Also, doing the same thing with music. And I found that we are living in Singapore. Let's not give people an indigestion of pure flamenco, but slowly bring it to you more and more as it gets along, and finally, the pure form. One day, you'll understand it. So in the meantime, we're doing a lot for Flamenco Sin Fronteras by inviting students. We do charities, we try and get involved. These wonderful people here. You know, the amount of hours they put in to rehearse, and it's a lot of work. I really love what they do. And I think art is one of those things which, thank God, we have audiences that understand and are coming to support us. And I hope this goes on, because Singapore is growing. It's growing more and more. We just try to keep the prices down, you know. That's the big problem, that one. The theatres are costing so much. So we've got to find a way. But thank you for your support. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Antonia and Kylie. I feel that Antonia is kind of like taking my job. He's much more talkative than me. So let's since we have the Rondalla main group back on the stage already, we will perform you Somewhere in Time, the theme song from the movie carrying the same title that was originally composed by John Barry and arranged for NUS Rondalla by our tutor, Yuan. This movie tells the story of a man traveling back in time to the year 1912 to find his true love, through which the beautiful theme song is played. And this arrangement features the mandolin solo, and we will have Wang Yuanzhi as a soloist. So, Yuan, I'll just give the stage to you to conduct this arrangement. Welcome. Next, we would like to perform a very famous Argentina tango piece called El Choclo, another arrangement done by Mei Ling, originally written by Argentinian musician Agio Voledo. It's one of the most popular tangos in the country. Please enjoy.
We would like to end our performance with a Filipino song, Mabuhay. Mabuhay is a Tagalog word which is used for greetings in Filipino dialect. We would like to use this music to thank you for being with us tonight and wish you live a long and happy life. Mabuhay. Thank you, NUS Rondalla group members. Let's now invite our distinguished guest performer, Mr. Yong Kai Ling, come to the stage. And our beloved director, Dr. Joseph Peters. I'm just too happy now. Joseph Peters. Dr. Peters? He's here. We can't hear you, sorry. So for the members of Flamenco Sans Frontieres, they left a bit early for another rehearsal. But if you want to catch up with them, you can go to another event, which is Flamenco Festival, that is organized tomorrow in the downtown. For more information, just contact our Rondalla members. We have come to the end of the concert. On behalf of NUS Rondalla, I would like to thank our guest performer for their amazing performance. I would like to thank NUS Center for the Arts for all their support, and our beloved music director, Dr. Peters, for his continuous guidance. And most importantly, it's you, our dear audiences. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. Hope you had a pleasant evening. Mabuhay, see you next year.